My sister and I were talking about skiing the other day because we grew up skiing. We live in the Northeast, and everyone I knew was skiing back then. And our parents always took us skiing. They would take us for February vacation. We would go skiing for a week. We would go, in New Hampshire or Maine, wherever. Sometimes we would go just for a day. We would take the day off from school and we would drive to a local mountain that would do like a deal where it was like on Tuesday, the whole car got in for one lift ticket. And so there was always these like deals they were doing. They're like, we're going to go skiing. But I also know it wasn't that expensive back then because we would go for an entire week. There was four of us, four kids plus our two parents, and we would do this pretty much every single year. We would go skiing and they would either buy us skis and we would pass them down to the siblings, or we would rent them if needed, but like mostly they bought our skis. And we loved it. We loved skiing. It was such a fun activity as a family. And I'm sure it was like expensive, but we were joking, my sister and I, that I'm teaching my kids how to ski. They are doing lessons. She is not. And she's like, I feel like this is a sport for the wealthy. We are being like edged out. We really can't afford it. And we were just talking about the cost. And it's just become so expensive. Even yesterday, our kids do ski lessons in the morning, and with their ski lesson, they get a 4-hour lift ticket. And so my husband and I were like, we should go. We'll get our youngest a pass to do the bunny hill. She's only 3. It's probably free. Most mountains are like 5 and under are free. And then we'll just get a half day pass and we'll ski with the kids. Well, I go up to the window. I'm like, can I have a half day pass for 2 adults and a 3-year-old? And she was like, sure, that's $220. And I was like, $220 for half day passes at a tiny mountain. And she was like, yep, $200. I was like, or like $220. I was like, that is crazy. And we went to another mountain with our kids, and a lift ticket for me, just for me, was $180. I'm like, this is bananas. This is crazy. So tonight, my husband and I were talking, and I started looking it up online, and there are certain websites where you can look at the cost of skiing or like lift tickets over the years. And I looked at 1999, which is when I was 9 years old. And it said at Loon Mountain in New Hampshire, where my family always used to go, that it was $47 for a lift ticket in 1999. And today, for that same lift ticket, it is $149. I think it was a 212% increase in price. And that is crazy. It is so expensive to ski and to think about skiing with your kids and as a family, because like 212%, that is crazy. That is crazy. $180 for a lift ticket for one day of skiing is so much money. And so if we wanted to take our entire family, we're spending almost $1,000 to go skiing for one day, which is wild. And so anyways, skiing has become a sport that is incredibly expensive. When people are like, when our parents always say like, oh, it was always expensive. Was it though? Because if you could afford to ski with a family of 6, like it couldn't have been that expensive.